Welcome back to AI Toolbox. You know we love to bring you the latest and greatest in the world of AI, and today we're diving deep into LawBot. It's an AI tool that's making a lot of noise in the legal field, whether you're a creator or developer or even a legal eagle yourself. If you're interested in how AI is changing the game, well, this deep dive is for you.
It really is fascinating to see how much buzz LawBot is generating. There's definitely a feeling out there that this tool could really revolutionize how legal work gets done, making everything faster, more efficient.
Exactly. It's like having a super-powered paralegal, someone who can analyze tons of documents, like immediately. But it's more than just speed right. LawBot can actually understand legal language and spot those tricky clauses, the ones hidden in all the fine print that even seasoned lawyers might miss.
Yeah, and that's really the power of natural language processing, or NLP. LawBot uses NLP to kind of break down all that legal jargon, identify key terms. It can even assess potential risks and opportunities hidden within a contract.
So it's like having an AI that can actually read and comprehend legalese, just like a human lawyer.
In a way, yeah. But instead of spending hours, poring over these documents, LawBot can do it so much faster, highlighting crucial information, flagging any potential issues.
That's incredible. But let's get a bit more specific. What are some of the core features that really make LawBot stand out?
Well, one of the most impressive is its document analysis capability. So imagine you're dealing with like a complex merger agreement, hundreds of pages long. LawBot can just dissect that document, identify all the key clauses, even highlight inconsistencies or potential compliance
No,
issues.
it's not just about summarizing the documents, but also understanding like the legal implications, right?
Exactly. It can generate concise summaries of these lengthy documents, pulling out the crucial points. It's like getting the gist of a 50-page document in minutes.
Wow, that would save lawyers so much time. But what about due diligence? Lawyers are always worried about missing something critical that could, you know, come back to bite them later.
Yeah, and LawBot acts as a safety net for that. It analyzes documents specifically to pinpoint any potential risks or opportunities.
hmm
It's really streamlining that whole due diligence process.
This is starting to sound like a total game changer for the legal world. Fewer late nights for lawyers' cases resolved faster. Maybe even legal help becomes more affordable.
Well, there's definitely potential for all of that, but it's important to remember AI, even one as sophisticated as LawBot, isn't perfect.
Right, right. We can't get carried away just yet. What are some limitations we should be aware of?
Well, one key area is nuanced legal interpretation. LawBot is great at analyzing, straightforward legal language, but it might struggle with more complex or ambiguous situations that really require human judgment and experience.
So human oversight is still crucial. Lawyers need to ensure everything is legally sound, especially when you're dealing with complex cases.
Absolutely. LawBot is a powerful tool, but it's not a replacement for human legal expertise.
Now, you mentioned that LawBot uses NLP to understand legal language. Could you give us like a concrete example of how that actually works in practice?
Sure. Let's say there's a clause in a contract about force majeure. This refers to unforeseen events that prevent someone from fulfilling a contract. Now, LawBot's NLP engine can analyze the context of that clause, and it can actually identify specific events that would trigger it, like natural disasters or government shutdowns.
So it's not just recognizing keywords, but understanding their meaning and the context of the entire document.
Exactly. That's what makes LawBot so powerful. It goes beyond simple keyword matching, and it actually delves into the meaning and the intent behind the legal language.
This is seriously impressive. But I imagine there are other legal AI tools out there. What sets LawBot apart from the competition?
One key difference is its user-friendliness. A lot of existing legal AI tools like Kira Systems or eBrevia, they can be quite complex, and they require extensive training to use them effectively. LawBot, on the other hand, is designed to be much more intuitive and easy to navigate, even for lawyers who maybe aren't as tech-savvy.
So it's like the difference between using an old clunky computer and a sleek new tablet.
That's a great analogy. LawBot really removes those technical barriers and makes AI accessible to a much wider range of legal professionals.
This all sounds incredibly promising. But as with any new technology, there are always potential downsides to consider. What are some of the concerns that have been raised about LawBot?
Well, one of the biggest concerns is the potential impact on paralegals. If AI can now handle a lot of that document review, what does that mean for the people whose roles traditionally focused on these tasks?
That's a valid point. It's important to consider the potential workforce implications of AI adoption.
Yeah, and it's not just about job displacement. There's also the risk of over-reliance on AI. If lawyers become too dependent on tools like LawBot, they might overlook crucial details that a human eye would catch.
So maintaining that balance between human expertise and AI assistance is key.
Exactly. We need to view AI as a tool that augments human capabilities, not replaces them entirely.
Okay, so we've covered a lot of ground here. LawBot has the potential to really revolutionize the legal industry, but it's not without its challenges.
Definitely. It's a powerful tool with incredible potential, but we need to use it responsibly and thoughtfully.
Absolutely. And for our listeners out there, especially those in the legal field, I'm curious to hear your thoughts. What's your take on LawBot? Are you excited about its potential? Do you have any concerns? Share your thoughts with us on social media. We're at AI for the People, and we would love to hear from you.
We really want to hear what you think.
And up next, we'll delve a little deeper into LawBot and explore some of the nuances of this fascinating AI tool. Stay tuned.
It's fascinating how AI is really pushing the boundaries of what's possible, and the legal field is certainly no exception.
Yeah, for sure. We were just talking about the potential impact of LawBot on paralegals. It's definitely a valid concern. But it also makes me wonder if this could lead to like the creation of completely new roles within the legal profession.
Oh, that's a really interesting point. As AI takes on more routine tasks, we might see a rise in demand for legal professionals who specialize in AI management and oversight. Imagine someone whose job is to make sure that AI tools like LawBot are actually being used correctly and ethically.
That makes a lot of sense. It's kind of like how the rise of computers created the need for like IT specialists. We might see something similar happening in the legal world, with these AI specialists.
Exactly. And it's not just about technical expertise either. These new roles might also require a deep understanding of legal ethics and the ability to kind of navigate that complex intersection of law and technology.
So instead of replacing lawyers,
Yeah.
AI could actually lead to like the creation of new and specialized legal jobs. That's a pretty optimistic outlook.
It's definitely a possibility worth considering, and it really just underscores the importance of adapting and evolving as a profession.
Speaking of adapting, I'm curious to hear your thoughts on how law schools might need to change their curriculum, to prepare future lawyers for this AI-driven world.
Well, that's a crucial question. Traditionally, law schools have focused on teaching legal doctrine and case analysis. But in a world where AI can handle those tasks more efficiently, the emphasis might shift towards developing skills that AI can't replicate, like critical thinking, creativity, complex problem solving.
Right. It's like the saying goes, it's not about what you know, it's about what you can do with what you know.
Yeah.
AI might be able to access tons of legal information, but it's humans who need to actually interpret that information and apply it in real-world situations.
Precisely. And that requires a different set of skills. Skills that involve judgment, empathy, the ability to connect with clients on a human level.
I'm also curious about the potential impact of AI on legal research.
Yeah.
Right now, lawyers spend countless hours, researching case law and precedents. Could tools like LawBot streamline that process?
Absolutely. Imagine an AI tool that can analyze thousands of legal documents in seconds, identifying relevant case law, highlighting potential arguments. That could significantly reduce the time and cost associated with legal research.
That would be a huge benefit,
Mm.
especially for smaller firms or solo practitioners who don't have the resources of larger firms.
Exactly. It could really level the playing field and make legal services more accessible to a wider range of clients.
We've talked a lot about the potential benefits of AI in law, but it's also important to acknowledge the potential risks as well. What are some of the things that worry you about the increasing use of AI in the legal field?
Well, one concern is the potential for bias. AI algorithms are trained on huge amounts of data, and if that data is biased, the algorithms will reflect those biases. This could lead to unfair or discriminatory outcomes in legal cases.
That's a serious issue. We need to make sure that AI tools are being developed and used in a way that promotes fairness and justice.
Another concern is the potential for errors. As sophisticated as AI is, it's not infallible. AI systems can make mistakes, and those mistakes can have serious consequences in a legal context.
So human oversight is crucial, even when using advanced AI tools.
Absolutely. We can't blindly trust AI to make the right decisions. We need to maintain a healthy level of skepticism and always be willing to question the outputs of these AI systems.
It's a reminder that AI is a tool. And like any tool, it can be used for good or for ill. It's up to us to make sure that AI is used responsibly and ethically in the legal field.
I completely agree. The future of law is being shaped right now, and we have a responsibility to guide that evolution in a positive direction.
Now, shifting gears a bit, I'm curious to know more about the company behind LawBot, LegalTech Innovations. They seem to be at the forefront of this AI revolution in law. What can you tell us about them?
Well, they're a relatively young company, but they've quickly made a name for themselves with their innovative approach to legal AI. Their focus is on creating user-friendly tools, tools that address real-world challenges faced by legal professionals.
Their commitment to user-friendliness seems to be a key differentiator. We talked earlier about how existing legal AI tools can be quite complex, but LawBot seems to be designed for a wider audience.
Exactly. They're trying to democratize access to AI, making it available to lawyers of all technical skill levels. And their success with LawBot suggests that they're definitely on the right track.
It's exciting to see companies like LegalTech Innovations pushing the boundaries of what's possible in the legal tech space.
It really is. They're not just creating tools, they're shaping the future of the legal profession.
And that future is looking increasingly intertwined with AI. I'm curious to hear your thoughts on how the relationship between lawyers and AI might evolve in the coming years.
Well, that's a fascinating question. Some experts believe that AI will eventually replace lawyers altogether. Others see a more collaborative future, where lawyers and AI work together, each leveraging their unique strengths.
I tend to lean towards the collaborative view. AI can handle the repetitive and data-intensive tasks, freeing up lawyers to focus on the more complex and strategic aspects of their work.
That's a compelling vision. It suggests that AI could actually enhance the role of lawyers, allowing them to provide even better service to their clients.
And potentially make legal services more accessible and affordable to a wider range of people.
Exactly. It's an exciting time to be involved in this field, and I'm really eager to see how it all unfolds.
Me too. Now, before we move on to our final segment, I want to loop back to something we touched upon earlier, the potential for bias in AI systems. It's a crucial issue, and I'm curious to hear your thoughts on how we can mitigate that risk.
That's a really important question. There's no easy answer. But one key step is to ensure that the data used to train AI algorithms is diverse and representative of the population as a whole.
So it's not just about the quantity of data, but the quality and representativeness of that data.
Exactly. We need to be mindful of the potential for bias in the data itself and take steps to correct for those biases.
And beyond the data, what about the algorithms themselves? Can we design algorithms that are inherently fair and unbiased?
Well, that's an active area of research. Some researchers are working on developing algorithms that are specifically designed to detect and mitigate bias. Others are exploring ways to make algorithms more transparent so that we can better understand how they're making decisions.
Transparency is crucial.
Yeah.
If we can't understand how AI systems are arriving at their conclusions, it's hard to trust them.
Absolutely. And trust is essential when we're talking about using AI in high-stakes domains like the legal system.
So it's not just about building smarter AI, but also about building AI that's fair, transparent, and accountable.
Exactly. It's about creating AI that aligns with our values and promotes a more just and equitable society.
Now, I know you're always encouraging our listeners to think critically about these issues. What are some questions that we should be asking ourselves as we navigate this rapidly evolving world of AI in law?
Well, one question is, how can we ensure that AI is used to enhance access to justice rather than creating new barriers?
That's a great question. We need to be mindful of the potential for AI to exacerbate existing inequalities in the legal system.
Another question is, how can we strike a balance between efficiency and fairness when using AI in legal decision-making?
It's a delicate balance. We don't want to sacrifice fairness for the sake of efficiency, but we also don't want to stifle innovation or make the legal system overly burdensome.
Exactly. And that's why it's so important to have these conversations and engage with these challenges head on.
Well, we've certainly covered a lot of ground in this segment, from the potential impact of AI on paralegals to the challenges of mitigating bias in AI systems.
It's a complex and rapidly evolving field, but it's one that's full of possibilities.
And speaking of possibilities, we're about to wrap up this deep dive into LawBot, but we have one more exciting segment coming up.
Stay tuned as we explore the broader implications of AI in the legal sector.
Welcome back to the final part of our deep dive into LawBot. So we've explored its features, its potential impact on the legal profession, and even some of those ethical considerations, around AI and law. So now I kind of want to step back and think about the bigger picture. How might AI reshape the whole legal landscape in the coming years?
Yeah, it's important to remember that the rise of these legal AI tools like LawBot, it's really just one piece of a much larger puzzle. We're in the middle of this huge technological revolution that's changing like every single aspect of our lives. And the legal system is certainly no exception.
It really does feel like we're standing on the edge of something brand new, like where technology is fundamentally changing how legal services are actually delivered and accessed. So what are some of those other forces driving this transformation?
Well, in addition to all the rapid advancements in AI, we're also seeing these changing client expectations. People are just used to instant access to information and services and like all other areas of their lives, and they're starting to expect the same level of, speed and convenience from the legal system as well.
Yeah, that makes sense. We live in a world of on-demand everything. Why should legal services be any different?
Exactly. And this demand for efficiency, it's really putting pressure on law firms to find ways to streamline their processes and deliver those services more quickly and cost effectively. So AI tools like LawBot, they're seen as like a key part of that solution.
So it's not even just about the technology itself, but it's how it's responding to these broader, like, societal and economic forces.
Precisely. And this raises some pretty important questions about the future of the legal profession as a whole. For example, how will law schools adapt their curriculum to prepare future lawyers for this new reality?
Yeah, will we see a surge in demand for lawyers with specialized skills in AI and data analytics?
Quite possibly. Lawyers who really understand how to leverage AI tools effectively, they'll definitely have a distinct advantage in this evolving legal landscape, but it's not just about those technical skills either.
So what other skills will be crucial for lawyers to thrive in this AI-driven world?
I think skills like critical thinking, creativity, problem solving will become even more important. AI can handle those routine tasks and analyze huge amounts of data, but it's still humans who need to interpret that information, make judgments, and actually develop strategies.
Right, it's like we were talking about earlier. AI can be a powerful tool, but ultimately it's up to human lawyers to guide its use
Mhm.
and make sure it's being used ethically and effectively.
Exactly. And that requires a deep understanding of those legal principles, ethical considerations, and the ability to think critically and creatively about those complex legal issues.
Here, I want to touch on something we haven't really discussed yet, the potential impact of AI on access to justice. Could AI actually help to make legal services more affordable and accessible to people who might not otherwise be able to afford them?
That's a key question, and one that's being debated extensively. On the one hand, AI definitely has the potential to automate many of the tasks that currently make legal services really expensive, such as like document review, legal research. This could lead to a pretty significant reduction in costs, which would make legal help more accessible to a wider range of people.
Yeah, that would be a total game changer, especially for those who have traditionally been priced out of the legal system.
Exactly. But on the other hand, there are concerns that AI could actually exacerbate some of those existing inequalities. For example, if AI tools are mostly adopted by those large law firms, it could put smaller firms and solo practitioners at a disadvantage, those who may not have the resources to invest in this new technology.
So it's not really a simple equation. The impact of AI on access to justice is going to depend on how it's developed, implemented, and regulated.
Absolutely. It's a complex issue with no easy answers, but it's definitely one that we need to think about and grapple with as we move forward.
Well, I think we've covered a ton of ground in this deep dive into LawBot and the bigger implications of AI in the legal sector. And it's pretty clear that we're at the beginning of a major transformation. And the legal profession is going to need to adapt and evolve to thrive in this new landscape.
It's a really exciting time to be involved in this field. AI is a powerful tool with the potential to revolutionize the way we think about and deliver legal services. But as with any powerful tool, we need to use it wisely and responsibly.
And that means having these thoughtful conversations about its potential benefits and risks. We need to be asking those tough questions, exploring different perspectives, and working together to shape a future where AI enhances justice and empowers everyone.
I completely agree. The future of law is being written right now, and we all have a role to play in shaping that future.
And for all of our listeners out there, we want to hear from you. What are your thoughts on the role of AI in law? Are you excited about its potential? Do you have any concerns? Join the conversation with us on social media. We're at AI for the People, and we'd love to hear your perspectives.
Keep those questions coming, and remember, the future of law is in our hands.
That's all for this episode of AI Toolbox. We'll be back soon with another deep dive into the world of AI. Until then, stay curious and keep exploring.